Welcome back to Let's Play DDO Permadeath. And I am doing Caverns of Korromar this time.
Only 2 dwarves can be seen in the survivors' camp. Fortunately, Axelrod appears to be one of them.
Okay. So since last time, extremely important development, I have got rid of the totally ugly helmet and replaced it with a +2 accuracy item. I did a bunch of other gear changes as well, so I picked up that rather nice +5 protection braces in Tomb of the Shadow Swimmer in the previous video. So I swapped some stuff around to work with that. I've now got natural armor on my cloak. Sorry, I've got deadly on my cloak, better natural armor on my necklace, and accuracy on my helmet. I also picked up this excellent piece of armor from the end reward from that last quest. Axe block free, which is pretty good damage reduction. And I deconstructed my invulnerability armor now, since that basically looks...
with dim, ever-bright stones line a walkway that bears signs of recent carnage.
Since that's basically obsolete now. A lot of the enemies in these quests are now doing magic damage, getting past the DR. I have also swapped in this sword that I picked up from somewhere. It's been in the bank for a while. Named item with lots of augment slots that I've now managed to fill. Obviously I'm not buying any augment crystals with shards or whatever you buy them with. Yeah, I'm not buying augment crystals, so I had to wait until I got enough collectibles to hand in for those. And it certainly stacks up the elemental damage. So it's cold. Cold, fire, fire. Okay. 3d2 of extra damage. Not too bad. And it's a higher than normal base damage weapon as well. Albeit it's a short sword, so it's not a great weapon to begin with. But with all the bonuses, I think it's alright. Actually not very good against the zombies though. Yeah, let's go for the anti-undead set against the zombies.
Aided by the wan glow of the moon, you spy a campfire beyond a ruined section of the giant aqueduct.
Don't know why my mouse sensitivity seems all over the place today.
A lone dwarf huddles beside a small campfire ahead. He looks haggard and regards you warily. Olaf lumbers toward the exit, presumably glad to leave Korromar for good.
Now I did this quest on hard with the Pale Master.
The pool of water has become a breeding ground. It seethes with leeches and insect larvae.
Not sure if I'll have an easier or harder time of it on this guy. The Pale Master seems to do very well in the undead content generally, as you'd expect. Not so much because of the Pale Master bit, just because of the web and firewall. Very good. This guy is okay providing he doesn't pull too many at once, I think.
Chilling and noxious breeze wafts from the sewer. Large, gnomish turbines sit motionless atop the entrance, no longer pumping fresh air into the tunnels. The outskirts of Korromar have been cleansed of all undead.
Okay, building up XP nicely. Alright, I'm 10k past level 10 now. Holding off taking the level though, since I have at least one more necro-free flagging quest to do after this. Alright, wending my way over to the optional here. I do kind of need to hurry in this quest. I'd very much like to do the end fight with the ship buffs on. Having the fire resist in particular, very useful.
As you approach the treasure chest, you become aware of a dull sense of dread creeping into your thoughts.
Nice, I'm still not great against the flesh renders, but I do have a couple of good shock weapons now. Where do you get the key from then? Maybe you get it from the following courtyard.
With the aromas of decay and filth. An unidentifiable ooze leaks through the sewer grates. Pools of ooze suddenly come to life.
I'm trapped in. There we go. Guess I stood in exactly the wrong spot there.
It appears that some of the undead workers from the surface have made their way into the sewers.
In order to get the +5 protection, I did drop some hit points.
The offensive stench does not relent. Dread fills your stomach as the murky green water froths beneath your feet.
Okay, it's tough going, but I am making progress.
Footings the color of midnight creep along the floor and walls.
The fire guard in this armor is pretty good too. Okay, slow going, but getting there. Heh, I thought that would be deeper than it was.
The Korromar sewers have been cleansed of the glass spider infestation.
Once you fall behind with these things, you can't do anything but wait for them to hatch, really. Alright.
Here the sewer abruptly ends. You see no sign of an exit from this section of the tunnels. The Korromar sewers have been cleansed of all undead.
I've been noticing generally that I'm doing less well on... Ooh, Wizardry 3 again. Less well on getting loot on this guy than previous Permadeath soloers. I think that must be because I'm leveling up faster though. And because they've lowered the XP requirements, you just spend less time at each level, so the loot's not as good. Still, it gets you through the early levels quickly, and I think getting through at least levels 1 through 5 fast is a good thing.
A hallway thick with spider webs stretches before you.
Yes, this luck sword seems fine.
Ropes dangle
It's,
into the sewer from a grating within the outpost.
It's reasonable damage.
Slick with algae, the ropes appear climbable.
Okay, up here is trouble. Yep, let's have Sonic and Fire, I think, for the whites.
Reanimated corpses and other foul beasts infused with negative energy plague the outpost courtyard. dig.
Okay, that was pretty tough. Whew, yep. Tough indeed, doing that without web and firewall.
Ever-bright pylons glow with a dim and uncertain light, as if their enchantments have been eroded by more powerful magic.
Okay, let's keep to the outsides for a bit here. Don't want to go into the centre and draw too much aggro until I've got this curse off. Actually, it was pretty good that that white managed to stun me with sound burst while I've got resist 20 on. Must have done a lot of damage. Yes, trip works nicely against these guys. As usual, the zombies. One left. Where's the one left? That'll be the thing back at the start. Well, I'm going a bit slowly, but I do want to do the optional. I guess I still have to figure out if I'm doing any of the Von chain at level 8 before I level up from level 10. Given that I lost my last PD soloer to disintegrate, and I've lost someone in Von 2 to disintegrate before, I probably won't do that one on hard. On 1 hard would be fine though. Air essences, I could use mind essences so I can actually craft my search item. Crafting has turned out to be much more useful on this guy than I was expecting actually. I haven't used crafting very much for a while.
The spectre of Ardogor, the grudge bearer, bars the way ahead. You destroyed a Dorgar, the grudge bearer.
But it's been essential on this guy because of the shortage of, well, because I've been missing a few key items of loot. Ah, there's the last guy.
You destroy the undead haunting the courtyard. A massive sprawl of excavation sites is spread out before you. Scattered packs of undead lurch along the paths that connect the dwarven paths descending into the earth.
Yeah, that's when it goes nicely.
The southernmost excavation site. You may find clues within.
One at a time. One at a time is best. Oh, this guy.
From this vantage point, you can see the walls of the Korromar outpost looming in the distance. This is the westernmost excavation site. You may find clues within.
Alright, I'm gonna finish clearing up top first.
This is the northernmost excavation site. You may find clues within. Before the excavation was overrun, the dwarves unearthed these massive stone steps leading deep into the earth. This is the easternmost excavation site. You may find clues within.
Alright, nice. Got the outside cleared before my buffs wore off.
A soft glow from behind a group of ancient pillars helps light the way through the tunnel. A vision assails your mind in which a wizened giant pours crystal clear water into ceremonial urns. The vision is intense and vivid, and fades within a moment. Another vision invades your mind. The giant blesses and anoints another at an altar, while a host of acolytes chants softly. The vision quickly passes.
That was a bit of a large crowd to charge into. Might have been tricky to do that one any other way.
The tattered journal at the eastern dig site describes ominous events surrounding the altar of Kalilan.
Well, that's pretty good timing. I was thinking of going back for a shrine, so I'll take this one instead. My main fear for this quest is if if my will save proves too low for taking on the named beholder. I think it should be okay though.
A final vision shows the wizened giant lying dead upon jumbled visions of befouled water and a tainted altar flash through your mind.
Okay, named Render. I didn't need that. "28 minutes left on the buffs. This is doable." I'm not wearing my plus spot item. I have my power item on instead. I was wondering how that guy could have snuck past me there.
All the urns within the dig site are blessed, though the curse on the altar remains. The altar of Kalela reacts to visible blast of negative energy. These auras of consumed altars and they leave only two.
Trouble
You
awaits.
shudder as a sense of impending doom pervades your mind. Chills go down your spine as you approach the central dig site. You spy a book resting on nearby crates. The tattered journal at the central dig site warns of the discovery of the Circle of Zoriat. The air seems difficult to breathe, as if it is thinner here than elsewhere in the excavation.
I'm having to switch back and forth a lot here. Switching between my undead weapons set.
You hear a regretful voice moaning.
The mirror is the prison, it must be set aright.
And my fire weapon set here, which I think does more damage against the corporeal undead.
tattered journal reveals that the northern dig site contains the tomb of the philosopher.
Well, that's 3 shrines I've passed and not needed to use yet.
At the end of a long corridor, you see an enormous eye staring from the lid of an upright sarcophagus into an oddly angled mirror.
Yep, I figured it was about time for that. Damn it, why won't my potions of aid stack?
The philosopher's mirror has been angled so it perfectly reflects the face on the sarcophagus.
I have a cast a level 10 potion of aid, that's why. Great. Looks like I will make it through with the buffs still on. Yeah, I'm switching back and forth between these Ghostbane weapons, including the Blade of Inquisition, of course, from Catacombs chain. Yeah, it must be this one I'm going to. And my fiery weapon set. Since my main weapon sets include the cold stunning item.
An alien impulse rushes into your mind. A door seals this well-lit tunnel. At the far end, your eyes are also drawn to a dark alcove.
Hey, my bludgeoning weapon set is just right for black bones. Damn it, it fell into the floor. That would probably have been better than what I'm wearing as well. Might even have been useful for the end fight. Something solidly fireproof for the beholder fight would have been nice. Yeah, my main weapon set has poison, cold, and plus stun, which is not so good against the undead.
As you near the landing, you see several tunnels leading away from an underground lake. Two zombies guard a conspicuous door at the far side of the cavern.
Okay, that's a way back up. Why would I need a way back up? I feel like I may have missed a book in here. Nope, maybe it's up ahead. I have a lot of stuff cluttering up my inventory now. I'm out of bank space, of course. Aha. I didn't notice it was here, I think, last time I came through. Played it in a group not too long ago and discovered it again. I feel like there must have been something more to this place. Ah. Maybe?
Spectre of a dead prospector drifts aimlessly through the cavern. You destroyed Overworld, the prospector.
I go power boots. I have my 4th item on boots, so that might work for me. I could definitely use a better plus strength item on this guy though. Still only strength plus 3. Alright, that was a rather slow room there. Okay. Fire and cold resist for this one, I think. Okay, that was a bit tough. Still, plenty of spell points in hand, lots of shrines. It's just a question of whether I don't get dominated or anything similar by the Beholder. And whether I remember to put my death block armor on. What could possibly go wrong, right?
Well-crafted supports reinforce the entryway of this dig site. Ever-bright lanterns hang from the ceiling and cast wavering shadows on the walls. You hear a faint whisper. The way to order is the way. You feel an unsettling desire to fling yourself bodily into death. It seems to beckon you forward.
Yes, that is an unsettling desire.
Dizzied by the stench of rotting and singed flesh wafting from the depths of this pit.
Okay, he looks serious. You can almost feel sorry for them when the stone skin guard goes off.
The tattered journal describes the discovery of the mysterious DDO Codex at the southern dig site. A brilliant light illuminates a heavy tome on a lectern. The lectern is spotless, as if recently and lovingly polished. As the words from the exposed page of the DDO Codex are spoken aloud, A sense of perfect order floods the area.
Alright, time to shrine and prepare for the end fight. Alright, the buffs won't matter much in here. He will take those away pretty fast. Deathlock will be essential. Okay, can't go back in that way anyway. Stunning won't work on this guy. I guess poison doesn't work either. I'll stick with my stunning weapon. It's still a decent melee weapon. Alright.
Magical switch. The barrier into the great arena lowers.
Okay, all in inventory slots full is not a good way to start a very dangerous fight. Okay. Yeah, 2 negative levels is not good at this level. But it doesn't have a huge number of hit points. So you've just got to hit him hard and fast, basically. I missed an optional. Might as well quickly run over, see if I can get that. Still very decent XP though. Up to 30 House K favour. Hopefully I will get to 75 reasonably soon. The extra bank slots will be very helpful.
The tattered journal relates the strange history of the Flame of Turian, located somewhere in the western dig site.
Alright, nice. That went smoothly. A little scary in the end fight, but not too bad. Thanks for watching.